Greetings, Guardians! Welcome to another exotic weapon examination. Today we're assessing the highs and lows of the formerly PlayStation exclusive hand cannon, Hawkmoon. Hawkmoon is a gambler's gun, in that it has a whopping 3 bullets in the magazine that deals considerable bonus damage when fully upgraded. This means there's a 3 in 13 chance that you'll be dealing more damage than usual. Unfortunately, the lucky bullets are randomized, so you might waste a lucky bullet if you miss the target. Hand cannons aren't in the best place in the PvP meta, but are still relatively strong, especially if you know what you're doing. You can obtain Hawkmoon through the usual ways: Xur, Nightfall, Shaxx bounties, Trials of Osiris, raid drops, or exotic weapon blueprints. You can also try and obtain the Year 1 version by completing Year 1 content. Now let's look at the base stats. At 22, Hawkmoon has a modest rate of fire. This fire rate is on par with the Ace of Spades exotic and the Imago Loop. Not the fastest firing hand cannon of them all, but it doesn't feel sluggish. Typical of its archetype, Hawkmoon has an 81 impact. It's an incredibly hard-hitting weapon, which is buffed further by its perks. At a mere 26 range, you aren't going to be challenging snipers from afar. You're probably best off engaging targets at medium distance. Don't allow enemies to get close enough to shotgun you, nor should you be trying to edge out guardians with snipers. In PvE, you should be able to engage any enemy you want with relative ease. Hawkmoon has a 51 stability, putting it within the top 6 of all legendary and exotic hand cannons that are relevant for Year 2. You might find that the bloom and recoil of the weapon is a little unruly. As a result of this, we have found that Hawkmoon can be a very difficult gun to handle if you're a little trigger happy. It's much better to take your time with it and land well-placed shots in order to take full advantage of its powerful perks. A reload speed of 39 puts Hawkmoon firmly in the mid-ground. However, its magazine size and its perks mean that you're not going to reload unless you're in a safe place or until you run out of bullets. Befitting of the gambler's gun, Hawkmoon has 13 bullets in the magazine. There's nothing particularly standoutish about Hawkmoon from its base stats. It could be easily outclassed by a legendary hand cannon with a decent roll. That being said, you aren't going to be using Hawkmoon without its perks. The gambling illusions continue. Holding aces grants a further 2 lucky bullets. The lucky bullets will grant 1.2 times the damage of a normal bullet. You might be tempted to opt for accurized ballistics or field choke, as the range on Hawkmoon desperately needs a buff. However, these 2 perks greatly increase the recoil. This means by using these, you'll be less likely to hit consecutive shots on a target. The trade-off isn't worth it, so we suggest you go with aggressive ballistics. Sure, it hurts the range further, but it gives the recoil direction more predictability. Luck in the Chamber adds an additional bullet to the lucky bullets already in the magazine. That's 3 out of 13 every time you reload. Now, this is a bit of a no-brainer. What you have is a gun in dire need of a buff to its range. And here you have it. Hammerforge will increase the range and accuracy of the weapon. Quick Draw is useless, as is Speed Reload, for the reasons that we already talked about. Hawkmoon is a beautiful, beautiful gun. Its design, sound, and feel is just right. Bungie has a knack for creating gorgeous, unique weapons. However, we can't help but feel that due to the current state of hand cannons in the whole game, you're probably better off with a different class of weapon entirely. If you're dead set on using a hand cannon in PvP and can't get used to the last word, Hawkmoon is the next best choice. It's very strong and it hits hard in both PvE and PvP, thanks to its high impact and perks. It could be outclassed by similarly rolled legendary hand cannons, which would free up your exotic slot for either a secondary or a heavy weapon. That's why we give Hawkmoon 3 engrams out of 5. For more tips and tricks like this and for all of your Destiny needs, be sure to head over to destinydb.com.